week. And then on Shabbos, we have the best and the finest of the food. So the Friedrich Rebbe compares women to Shabbos and says, just like we work hard all week, and then on Shabbos you get the best and the finest, so too women are supposed to be the receivers of the finest things. And so it is our avodah as the women, as the women that are bringing about the Geulah, to really use the physicality in order to make the world into dir b'tachtainim. And so years ago, we used to hear the opposite. We used to hear that, we should have a skafia, we shouldn't really be into gashmias. But the Friedrich Rebbe says that no, the opposite. We as women, we have the koyach to take the physicality, to elevate it, to make ourselves beautiful, to be the receivers, and to be able to elevate it to really bring about the Geulah. Now, how are we receivers? So we're supposed to be, it says that the men are supposed to be the givers and women are supposed to be receivers. Now, being a receiver is much, much harder avodah. And so oftentimes what happens is women tend to, we want to give to our families, we want to give to our husbands, we want to give to everybody, right? It's much harder for us to actually be in the receiving mode, right? And so we kind of just take on that role, just giving. But what happens is when we step into our real avodah, which is to be receiving, when we allow our husbands to give to us, we bring about the biggest brachos for ourselves and for our families and for our children. And the way that you can really see this very practically is when you feel joy and abundance from receiving, as we're supposed to, right? You feel much calmer, much happier, much more at ease. When you're speaking to your husband, when you're helping with your children, you feel much more connected and much. You're able to access that space where you're very calm and able to really care for the home. And so it's really, really important that us as women, that we really tap into this avodah and we really care for ourselves. And so instead of saying, I'm going to only take care of my kids and make sure that they're fed and make sure my husband's fed and make sure everybody's got everything they need and make sure everything is run perfect, it's really important for us to focus on caring for ourselves first. Okay? And what I always love to tell women is that self-care is a total package. It's caring for yourself physically, emotionally, spiritually, and mentally. And what does that mean? So I learned something really fascinating recently, that it actually says that when Mashiach comes, our neshamas are going to learn from our bodies. Like our bodies are going to give our neshamas clues on what it should do, which is such an amazing thing, because we were always taught that obviously that the body was important, but we never really, it was always kind of but the neshama, you have to learn, you have to do mitzvahs, and it was really not so much of a, so this was really a really big finish for me, is that I always knew it says in the Torah that we have to care for our bodies and all that. And I was, and if you think about it, how is it possible that our bodies are so much holier than our neshamas? Because if you think about it, if our neshamas were not put into our physical body, we would not be here on this earth. We would not be able to make this world into dir b'tachtainim. And so that's why it's so important for us to really nourish ourselves, to really make sure that we, eat healthy foods, that we exercise, that we're not just caring for our kids and husband's physical needs, because what happens is when you don't actually care for your physical self, as many of you I'm sure have experienced many times, if you haven't, you crash, you have no energy, you can't care for your kids as much, you're getting angry, you're getting upset at your husband more often. And so it's really, really important that we fill our cups up first, so that we can create that space in our home of peace, of love and joy, and a love for Yiddishkeit, and a love for everything that we want in our home, and to be able to really receive the brachos that we want, and really be able to do our avodah properly, right? And so it's really important to eat well. It's important for us to exercise. One of the best tools I love to give people is that motion. motion changes emotion. We all have moments throughout our day, okay? You can be having the best day, but everyone has moments where you're getting sad, you're getting frustrated, you're getting upset at somebody. When you move your physical body, it literally changes your emotions, like just moving. So if you're getting really frustrated at your kids, if you just go into the next room, do some jumping jacks, take a walk around the block, stretch your arms, or whatever it is, it's going to allow you to access that space of calm again, to be able to be the mother that you want to be able to show your kids, you know, that love and joy and that beauty that Yiddishkeit is, right? We don't want our kids to, we want our kids to have a love for Torah and Yiddishkeit by having us show it to them. And so that's a really great way. Now spiritually, this is something that we learn from the Mizbeach, is that the Mizbeach had a ramp leading up to the Mizbeach. Now, what that teaches us is that if we are not going up, we are sliding backwards. And this is something that I hear from women a lot, is we're so focused on everybody else and making sure that everything's running properly that oftentimes people forget to be growing yourself. And it's so important to find something that you connect with. So be it, you know, if chitas is that thing that really connects you to Hashem, if it's davening, if it's doing some, you know, making a meal for somebody that really just, you know, feels like something that you're going out of your way, if it's learning a class, whatever it is that really connects you to Hashem, that's going to make a really big difference in the atmosphere in your home, between you and your husband, and between you and your children. Emotionally, this is something else that, again, people tend to like to push those feelings that you have and say, no, I shouldn't be having these feelings, and you tend to judge yourself and push it down. And what happens is if you don't feel the feelings in the moment, you just bury it into your subconscious, and then it comes up at a different point in time. So it's not a bad thing. It's actually very, very healthy for you to care for your emotions, again, so that you can really be the receiver and really do your avodah properly and bring up and have the atmosphere that you want in your home. Another thing when it comes to receiving is that it's something that we women struggle with a lot, is being vulnerable with our husbands and really saying what's really on our mind. And it says that when Mashiach comes, we're all going to really find our true essence. We're going to find our true voices. And so it's really important for us to step into that, to really allow ourselves to really say what we really mean to people, to those that we care about, to those around us. Because when we connect with our deeper truth, it creates a much, much deeper connection between you and your husband, between you and your children, and it really creates a much deeper connection and shows them brings out your love for Torah and Yiddishkeit and all that in a much, much deeper way and in a more meaningful way to them. And that covers the self-care part. And then mentally, obviously, we all, mental health is something that's really important, and it's not something it's something we all need to take the time to process our own thoughts. We have so much going on in our lives. It's easy to kind of push it down, but it's really important that we take time to process our thoughts. And again, that brings about our true thoughts and really allows us to develop them so that we can create what we really want in our homes. Another thing I wanted to kind of touch on is that we're seeing, as like the Rebbe said, that Mashiach is here and we just need to polish the buttons, we need to open our eyes, and as Mashiach is here, literally here, we're seeing two things in the world. We're seeing tremendous miracles and we're seeing tremendous challenges. And it's our avodah as the woman to really, each one of us is faced with our own unique challenges. Some of us, are having extreme financial difficulties. Some of us are having, our marriages are being challenged. Some of us are having challenges with our children. And it is our avodah to connect with Hashem in those moments of pain, when things are so difficult, turning to Hashem and saying, Hashem, I need clarity. Hashem, I need your guidance, your help. And I learned something else very interesting, is that we're supposed to actually have a relationship with Hashem of a husband and a wife. And if we want Hashem to give us the brachos that we need in our lives, we need to say it to Hashem. We need to not just complain and say, when you complain to your husband, right? Oh, I don't like this, I don't like that. Does he want to give you? Not really, right? But when you say to him, thank you for giving me this, thank you for giving me that, thank you for giving me the other thing, he's just, oh, I want to give her more and more. And so when we develop that connection with Hashem, and we say, thank you, Hashem, for everything. Thank you for the fact that I'm alive. Thank you for the fact that I have a home. Thank you for the fact that I have food. You start to really, appreciate everything that you have in your life. You create joy within yourself, joy within your home, and really, really bring about so many brachos. And you start to see real miracles in a really, really real way. And again, when you're feeling, when you enter that space where you are feeling that pain, when you do turn to Hashem and ask Him, He really, really shows you miracles. Small, it might be in the way of a class, or somebody that says something that just spoke to you, or a friend that says something that spoke to you. I spoke with a woman today who said to me, Miriam, she's like,